Buongiorno. It's super early. It's uncharacteristically early for me today. It's 11:30 a.m. I have the day off, so I'm like, why not work? So true, so true. Denshi, did I ever tell you the story behind that emote, by the way? That emote right there that you got there, the deadlines one. That was added to my channel without my knowledge. I left my account logged in on the laptop that I use to stream from the kitchen for pizzatsudons whenever I do pizza baking. And Bon covertly got that emote made and uploaded to my account. So I never asked for this one. I was very surprised when I saw it for the first time. Always log out of your devices, I guess, is the takeaway here. How's music? Is the music way too loud? Hey, Ricky. Hello. Wow, okay, so what I'm learning is that 11:30 a.m. on a workday is a very good time for streaming, because it seems like a lot of my friends are able to tune up for this thing, so I should just stop having a full-time job, is what it sounds like. Hi, Kari. Hi, Ricky. Hey, Denshi. Hey, Millennium. MC. I always call you MC when I talk about you in text, and then I'm, like, never sure what the right way to address you is, which is probably something that I should figure out sooner rather than later. We're all bored. You should quit your job now! Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Okay, so, here's what I'm trying to do today. I also might, if I'm addicted to streaming, might stream again later for Pokemon Ribbon stuff, but I don't know. I feel like I should give an announcement for that. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to emulate this. This is what my schedules look like when I painstakingly put them together in my image manipulation program. Did I post this on co-host because it's a CSS stream? Oh, you're so right, I should have. Express your personality by this. Hold on, I gotta post this on co-host. There are too many platforms. I don't like it anymore. I used to be really good at Twitter, and they killed Twitter because I got too good at it, and I don't like this New Game Plus bullshit. Let me post this on co-host real fast. I got a Blue Sky invite, but I have not logged in yet. Wait, what do you mean you came from there? I definitely didn't post this on co-host. I posted this on Misskey. Hold on, which instance in the Fediverse are we talking about here now? I posted this on Misskey because I'm trying to get onto Misskey because I'm like, well, this is kind of like Twitter. Right? I'm so lost. But I should post this on co-host because it's a CSS thing. You're so right. I'm using the CSS crimes and CSS justice tags. Hold. I probably should have just done this in the browser that I was working in here, but hold. Okay, we're good. Infinite uses for Blue Sky. What? So, are you gonna make like 1 million accounts? Okay. So, I posted on co-host now. I posted on 3 social media platforms because that's what we do in 2023. Did you re-chost my skeet on Misskey? That's a big X from me. Oh, I can't do the cross arms with that thing, but that's an X from me. Okay, so here's what my schedule looks like twice a year when I put it out. And I make this by hand every time because I'm stupid and I can do this better. And so I started this a little bit yesterday because I got into a strange mood. So here's where I am right now. This is all HTML, CSS. The background is a single line of CSS, which I'm very pleased about, and I'll show you in a second. So I gotta get from there... Like, we're close. You can see that I'm close. But, like, I gotta work on, like, sizing and scaling and stuff. And I also want to be able to load these items in via reading a JSON file. So I'm close. I almost have this. So this will hopefully be pretty brief. But I have, like, a clear vision in mind, and this is what I'm trying to work towards. So to that end, let's get back to VS Code. And let me show you what I'm up to. So in terms of CSS, the background, I learned, ignore my importing of specific web fonts. This is the font I use. Dostissimo Roman is the font that I use on my everything. Like, you'll see it, like, over here, and then over there for my name and everything. I gotta update that too, because it's like Twitter's not going to be the thing anymore. My chat render's in that. So, I gotta update all of this. Like, I feel like this layout is not super nice anymore. Your inverted chat. Yeah, it's the newest at the top. It's a stack. That's how it should be. I'm gonna read from the top. I'm not gonna read from the bottom. Newest should be, especially because the bottom is behind my head. So I want the newest on the top. It makes the most sense. Panko, were you not here for when I did the Sonic? So the debut of these hands was when I did my Sonic murder mystery stream. I thought you were there for that, but maybe not. Why does it bother you? Denshu, do you want the newest messages to be behind my fat ass head? You're never gonna have to read. You're like, oh, can you move over? I'm trying to read chat. Yeah, sorry. Let me move. Sorry. I'm in the way. Of course. They should be at the top so that you can read them when they're fresh, and then the older ones that you've had time to read get filtered down to the bottom. Good grief. But yeah. Punko, when I did my Sonic Murder Mystery stream, that was on April 1st or whatever, April 2nd when I got the model, where is it? I, like, got dressed up and everything. I put on my detective gear, and I even had a funny little magnifying glass, so I was, like, really playing into it, which was exciting. Oh, that's right, yeah, you played it yourself, that's true. But I, like, got an item from my hand, and I got on my funny detective gear. Yeah. Right now, I'm currently wearing all the ribbons from... I can't really turn my hand to the sharpness I want, but the ribbons that I've got are from the Pokemon stream. I've got 4 out of my 32 ribbons. The rest of them will be much more difficult than these 4, so we'll see what happens. Okay. So, the CSS that I'm really proud of is the background, where it scrolls like, or where it checkerboards like that, is just one line. Apparently, you can just make that happen with a gradient. So like a conic gradient where you set things at every quarter like this will just make a 4 square grid like that for some reason. It's not really a gradient. I don't know why it's called that. But this one line uh, dictates the whole thing. And then I just find an animation, which is just 2 keyframes of moving the entire thing from 0 to 100. I tell it to do that over the course of 16 seconds. I guess it's kind of a gradient, but I expect the gradient to have in-betweens. This just doesn't. It has sharp edges. Maybe that's what the conic part means? I don't know. I don't really understand too much, but I was very, very pleased with how this ended up coming up. So yeah, so we've got our index, and we've got our little items here. So eventually I'm going to have this list get populated. Code. See it? Okay, so people are always like, "Oh, I'm not a real programmer. I just do HTML and CSS." Anytime you were giving instructions to a computer, and the computer has to figure out how to interpret those and do something other than just present the words back to you, that's coding. Even if you're just like copy pasting stuff from the internet, knowing how to assemble it into a cohesive piece, that's coding. I'm very, very tired of gatekeeping being like, well, actually, you know, it's not really coding unless you're writing in assembly directly, or you're using object-oriented, or C. If it's readable by a human, it's not coding. That's bullshit. This is absolutely a coding stream, and I think if you know how to put stuff together like this, you are absolutely coding. You are writing something in machine code. Streamer, actually. That's a good hold on, wait, actually, Dench, you're always telling me to get more emotes. I should get one where I'm, like, shoving the glasses up with the eyes. I've got the eye glowing one, but that's usually for when I'm, like, excited about something. I need an angry eye glow. That would be a good emote. Like with the glasses glare. That would be a fun one. Do these, they don't glare. Okay. Oh my god, that's not a programming language, it's a scripting language? Kill me. Like, that's nothing. That's so bad, actually. No, it's such like an elitist mindset, in my opinion. I can only assume people do that because they're trying to gatekeep and they want to make it seem like their programming job is like very difficult or like it requires a lot of background. Not to say that programming can't be difficult. Yeah, it's a different kind of difficult, but people are like, oh well, I'm a real programmer. I'm worth 6 figures or whatever. Like, no, it's all we're all just here to have fun. Okay, so I'm gonna do how I always do this, and I'm gonna go back to my uh. Here's how I do WebDev, and it's probably not the right way to do WebDev, or it's certainly a way to do WebDev. I'm gonna go to my browser, and I'm gonna just leverage the tools that God gave me here. I'm gonna press F12 to open the inspector. Maybe make this a little less dimensions. Can this just be like 800 by like 600 or something? I don't know. Sure, that's good enough. I have never seen a competent programmer unironically do the programming language of leaders. Yeah, exactly. But people who do it are like, I think, trying to make themselves seem high and mighty. Okay. So how I do WebDev typically, why is this highlighted still? So I go to my elements section over here, and I can just right-click on the thing I'm trying to do, click on inspect. It gives me the current styling for that class. Let me, I guess, pull this out a little bit more. So the problem right now is that these are a bit too small, I think. Like, they don't scale properly. And I think the reason for that is I didn't define a font size to vmin. No? There we go. So, time to talk about how things are sized in HTML. So vmin is the minimum dimension in a viewport. So in this case, it'd be my, what is this? Height, I guess? Yeah, vermin. But, so, the reason I need to define this in the very top tag in HTML is the way things are scaled in HTML. One of the units you can use if you don't want to use direct pixels or percentages is you can use what's called an em. I don't know what em stands for. I probably should. But this is relative. This is like multipliers of the font size of the parent container. So by defining the font size at the very top as being 3 vertical min units, it will impact how things are scaled later, and you can use an EM to have a responsive size. Typically, you don't want to do things in pixel sizes unless you know exactly the target resolution you're going for. So I try and do things in ems. So now if I close this and make it bigger, well, look, that looks a lot better, doesn't it? And now if I squish it down and squish it, it's scaling kind of like how we want. Not quite. There's obviously a lot of work to be done here. What's the sad swirl drop emote for? Swirl despair. That's a good emote name. That's funny. Do you just not like responsive stuff, MC? What's the deal here? Yeah, so I would probably want to define that at the top, but of course it has to look good here, and these need to be able to have like a lot of these. Next week I have, I think, 4 or more streams planned. They all came up at the same time. Everything's coming up all at once. So I need to be able to fit a lot of these. So maybe this is a little too big, but we can noodle with it. Like if I hold on, well let's test this. Iframe websites back when 800 by 600 monitors were all that existed. Exactly, right? If you know your target resolution, it gets really easy. But we got to make things responsive. I kind of know my target resolution here. It's going to be 1920 by 1080. It's going to be approximately just like this. So it kind of makes it easy, but I do want to make it like performant in that way and teach some good practices. But ultimately, because I'm just making what is going to amount to a static image at the end of the day, I can get a little funny with it. Okay, so back to VS Code real quick. Yeah. The inspector is really, really useful. People, I don't think, leverage it enough. So I wanted to do font size 3vmin. And if I just refresh now, it should just look like how it was. Perfect. We save those changes. Pretty cool, pretty cool. One other thing I wanted to do is programmatically generate these things. I think this element is as complete as it's going to need to be. It's got the part, so like if we flip back to here, there's a couple pieces of this. There's the date, which is in a box to the top left, slightly offset. There's the tagline of the stream, and there's a subtitle with an image. So I got that, I think, as good as I want to get it here, where you have your subtitle, your main title, and then the date. So I'm going to quickly pivot over to the part where I programmatically make these, because I want to be able to spin up like 8 of them at once. So let's pivot back to this for a second. We're going to do some JavaScript. So let's make a new file, page.js, and then we're going to have another one, like that. This is going to be, I don't know, what is this going to be? This is going to be like a JSON events, an array. We're going to do date, T, like that. Then we're gonna do title, long ass title, so I want to see if this will stretch appropriately. This is foreshadowing of the 1-year Grim Fandango stream I'm gonna do. That's actually going to be on November 1st in 2023. But I've got year 3 to complete for Grim Fandango of its 4-year journey of the soul. And then you can tune in 2024 for me to finish the game. Subtitle. So here I'm actually inserting HTML into the title. Yeah. Last year I did years 1 and 2, and then I realized it'd be funnier. Saw my post on Choast? Ooh. And Flip, welcome Minty Wyvern, welcome Flip. Hello. I'm Skeletom, I'm your undead host this morning. I'm working, so, to give you guys a quick summary of what I'm up to, I have 4 or more streams planned for next week, which means I need to make a schedule graphic, and I'm very, very tired of doing it by hand, like, by image manipulation, because I'm not an artist. I don't have a very good creative vision. So I'm trying to emulate this, which is one of the last schedules I put together by hand in an image manipulation program, and I'm trying to reproduce it in HTML, like so. I think I'm getting, like, kinda close. The one you're looking at here with the torcles is entirely HTML and CSS, and then this one is the image manipulation one that I made by hand. So, like, I think I'm getting there. And then my plan is, I'll just pop it into OBS. Yep, exactly. So I'm gonna pop it into OBS, and then I'll be here so I can do, like, a funny pose. Oh, hold on. I gotta refresh the cache on this one. It's got old CSS. There we go, much better. I'll be in the corner, making a funny pose. So that's what we're working on right now, Denshi. It's gonna pull the data from a JSON file, which I can just have locally and update whenever. So I need to scoot this over a little bit more, offset from the top, but then it'll be pretty similar. Did I just wipe the chat? I did wipe the chat every time I do that. Oh, well, it's fine. Yeah, so that's what we're working on now. I think I'm pretty close. Rip chat, it's fine. I wish it didn't do that. I don't know why it does. Punko, every time I type, JSON into anything that has autocorrect, it tries to correct me to KSON. Making of the base with an Excel and copy files into an image editor. Yeah. I'm just gonna have it read from a file here. So, like, here's one of the events that we're gonna have. Subtitle, year 3 of 4. Wow. And then we're gonna do image. I only have one image in my image folder, so we're just gonna keep using that for everything. It's gonna be /img/torque.png. So we're gonna have that. Do you have the check mark on the chat source that unloads the chat when the source isn't visible? Oh, I hope not. Hold on one second. Let me check. I'm a superhero. I'm a superhero. Where's my chat source? That would be the first thing to know. Yeah. Where is my chat? I've got so many nested scenes out here. I have one for, like, my overlay. But I don't think my... Oh, wait, yes, here it is. Chat. Properties. Shut down source when not visible. You're so smart, Iceby. You're a god. You're so smart. You've saved me yet again from myself. Where was I now? Main. And turn off studio mode. Okay, we're good. We should be all set now. But you're gonna have to fill in chat one more time. Oh, also, the music we're listening to right now is a mixtape, put together by, what's the guy's name? I forgot last time. It had pizza in it, so I should remember. It's like Pizza Frite or something like that. Hold on, I'll even link it in the chat. Yeah, Pizza Frite. This is a Loop on the Third mixtape. Right here. Titled With All Due Respect, You're Insane. And the song we're listening to right now is called Superhero. Really, really good. It has lyrics, typically, but not today. Okay, so we're gonna have an event here, and what we're gonna do is for event of schedule.events. I've seen a schedule web generator before, but it's pretty limiting. Yeah, I'm sure there's, like, a generic one. I wanted to make one for me, because I have a very specific design sensibility. Oh. var event? Is it like that? Okay. What are we gonna do? We're gonna find our parent here, which is the list. Might be helpful to split these side by side, actually. There we go. So we've got our document dot get element by ID. Oh, it needs an ID actually. Parent. 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 Yeah, this is JavaScript. Right now, actually, Flip, I've got a actually you. Nothing you're seeing on screen right now is CSS. We've got our HTML on the one side and the JavaScript on the other. But soon, then we're gonna do const. The trick is gonna be we're gonna try and recreate this chunk of HTML entirely programmatically. So hopefully it likes that. Hopefully that's cool. I wonder if there's an easy way to do that. Like, just copy this instead of having to assemble each little piece. It's fine, actually. I've decided it's fine. Yep, exactly. So we're gonna use our JavaScript to iterate over each item in this list and create one of these elements for it, and each one of those corresponds to, in the actual output, one of these guys. So I'm going to be able to read from that list, and we'll make a new one of these. I can specify the date, title, subtitle, and an image each time. So that's what I'm working on here. So let's see, we're going to do equals document dot create element div, not div. Oh, let me go back to this code. Div. We want to add item, schedule, dark. Eventually, we're gonna manually offset these also, but we'll get there when we get there. So then we're gonna do const date equals same thing. Create element div. Date dot class list. Nope. So class list is the list of CSS classes that we're applying to this thing, which we have right here. I'm going to format this really weirdly, just because it's easier to read when things are split like this, side by side, and when my font is so big. Boom, like that. Burning point for also adding in multiple time zones per listing. We'll see about that. I don't know. My audience is so globally spread. Like, I've got folks in here right now, I know in Canada, in Europe, in the UK, you're in America. We've got some new folks, I have no idea where they're from, so I feel like trying to have in everybody's localized time zone would be really difficult. But you know what I could do? Is, once I get this actually up and running as a web page, I could publish this to my skeletom.net web domain, like skeletom.net/schedule, and it could just tell you what the date is in your local time, in theory, if you wanted to go, like, visit my schedule. And then when I inevitably only make 3 schedules a year, you can get my last schedule from Q1 or whatever. So that's something I could do. I could have it localize the date instead of reading just straight out of a file. That would be for revision 2. Alright, so we've got that. We're gonna outer dot, what is it? Append child, that's what it is. Append child date. So we've got our outer element. That's this one right here. We made that here. Then we make our date. we append the date as a child of the outer one. Have I ever seen how Ame deals with schedule time? Well, I know that she does karaoke at like 2 a.m. EST because she hates me specifically. So I haven't really seen how she does scheduling though. I just kind of let YouTube tell me when her upcoming streams are. There are a couple of times that I need to tune in. But usually it's like catering extremely hard to the West Coast. And I find that is true for a lot of Hololive EN. So, it's not great. It's rough. Date, okay. So then we're going to do date.inner HTML equals event.date. Okay, I'm not using the name var event. Item. Everyone hates East Coast. You're so right. Oh, you guys want to see a cool trick? Actually, hold on. Let me do something really neat. 1 second. I'm gonna show you guys a cool JavaScript optimization that everybody should do. Real quick, I'm opening the ribbon data that I have from the ribbon tracker stream that I was working on. But I'm going to show you guys a cool trick where you can do this. Oh, actually, why did I close it? I didn't mean to close it. I just meant to minimize it. So we're going to define, real quick, we're going to define our data structure here in vanilla JavaScript. So type depth object schedule is going to be schedule like this. It's going to have a list of item called events. Like that. No other properties. We're going to define another class. Oh, and this is the schedule event. Item. And this is going to have string date of day and time. Called oops, I did that backwards. Sorry, I meant to do title like this. This is still a string. These are all going to be strings. And then last one is at property can't type, string, like that. Can't see when I'm watching and... Oh no, do I have to make the font size even bigger? Moving to the West Coast and working for an East Coast company so I can be off work at 3 p.m. Right? Yeah, exactly. Okay, so what we've done is we've defined some JavaScript type defs. And then I just need to do this. This is type. And so what this has done for me is now when I refer to schedule here in my other script file, it will know that schedule is a list of constant list of events. It's a list of item. It will know that each one of these is an item. So when I go back to my page generator here, item here is strongly typed. And so it'll do like item dot. And now I get my first 4 results are actual properties that are on this, which is very, very helpful for a language that doesn't have types, like JavaScript, where you can just have properties willy-nilly. I do this all the time because it will stop me from making terrible typos, like item dot subtitle or something like that, you know? Now IntelliSense will recommend these for me, and it knows that they're strings. So now instead of, if I didn't have those, I'd be like, subtitle, it's of type any, and then I just have to know what I'm looking for. But now it knows that this is a string, so that I can do all my string methods on it, etc., etc. So like item.date, what day and time, it just knows that. Pretty good, pretty good. Let's get back to what we were doing then, and I can close my ribbons. Always write type defs. It's important. I strongly recommend this. Okay, so we have our date object. We're going to make another one const title container. Like such. That's going to be this guy. Title container dot class list dot add event column. Then we have our two. We're almost in the home stretch here. This is going to be pretty easy. So now we've got inside of the title container, we're going to make two more divs. Const title. Medium. Title dot inner HTML is equal to item dot title. Again, a property that it automatically suggests to me and knows is a string because I define type definitions in my other file. Const subtitle is equal to same thing. Subtitle dot inner HTML equal to item dot subtitle. Easy. Oh, and we want to put stuff on the class list. Subtitle dot class list dot add. This might be my favorite song on this mixtape, by the way. It's really good. Subtitle small. And then we're gonna do title container dot append child title container dot append child subtitle, and then we're gonna do outer dot append child title container, and the final one is going to be const. And this time it's not going to be a div we're creating. It's going to be an image tag. So we're going to do that. Image.classlist.add event. Image.src is equal to item.img, and we're going to do outer.append child one more time. Image, and then finally parent.append child dot or not dot outer, and that should be our thing that programmatically generates stuff out of our script here, if all went according to plan. So now I'm going to add that script to our... Ooh, this is Jigen's theme. This is Tornado. This is a really good song. Script src is equal to dot /js /page generator, like that. So now if I go back to my browser one more time and refresh, what do we have? Is it not able to load the script? Schedule is not defined. Oh, right. Because I need to also include... The problem was... I need to also include my schedule. Like this. So JavaScript is funny when you use it in browser stuff like this, where all of the scripts that you load in a web page are shared to the same memory space. So even though I define my schedule in one file, and that's the only thing in here, and I can actually reference it in this other file as long as I load them in the correct order, because it all goes to the same shared memory heap. So if I go back to my browser and refresh this time, there we go. Kind of. So I forgot to clear out the ones that already existed, but I have the new one, kind of. Looks like the image is not the right path, but it looks exactly like the other ones do, which is great. Exactly what we wanted. It's got the subtitle, and it's able to have its own HTML in there, so that's how I highlighted this one. The image needs to be fixed, but that's definitely just a path thing. What does it think the path is? Torque. Oh, I see why. Okay. Yep, so from there, I just want to clear out the ones that's already in there. So we're going to do, go back to our browser, go back to our VS Code, inner HTML, clear that out, empty. And then let's go to our schedule here. I think it's just .image like that. So back to the browser. The other fun thing about WebDev like this is you can iterate really, really fast. There we go. Perfect. I was thinking of the path relative to the JavaScript directory, but it's actually relative to the web page that's loading it. So now if I have a bunch of these, if I go to schedule, I can copy paste. Like that. So I put in 3 identical events, go back to my browser, gonna refresh. And wow, we've got 3 things in here. Getting kind of cramped. So that's maybe not great. Maybe these need to scale down a little bit smaller, but I think they're typically readable. Yeah, big applause, right? So now if I go to my, schedule scene here, hopefully this won't wipe chat this time. Oh, and then I gotta refresh this. I always have to remember to refresh this. It's like that. I'm off to the side. Next thing I want to do is have these kind of cascade a little bit, and probably just make them smaller overall, because they're a little bit large, I think, right now. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe I just need to scoot over. Oop. Like a little bit. Scammed? Scammed? Who scammed? What happened? Did you get your points eaten? Did the A not come through? I heard it. Oh, I don't have that. I don't have that in this. Hold on. I see what you're saying. I heard it, which is the important part. Oh, it's on a cooldown. I'm sorry, Denshi. You're right. You should unsubscribe right now. The 100 points are worth a lot. Okay. So what I want to do is have these cascade a little bit. Thank you. That one you can always do. That one's on the house. So we're going to do var offset equals 0. And I think what we're going to do is just outer.style equals margin left, like this, equals, check this out, em, semicolon, check this out, okay, back to the browser. That didn't do anything. Why not? What happened? Let's inspect. Huh? Why didn't that do anything? That should definitely work. So what that should have done is done style equal that, which would marginally offset something. Not quite enough, but that's what I was expecting. And for some reason, it doesn't look like it did anything. I'm not sure. I don't know that I follow what's happening here. Had to watch an 30-second ad for competitive Pokemon play before being permitted to watch your stream. Well, you're in luck because one of the events that I have, I guess I might as well talk about that now. That's a good segue. Thank you, Gate. Nice to see you, by the way. Buongiorno. Is this coming weekend, not like tomorrow and Sunday, but the weekend of the 10th to the 13th, is the big grand finals of the whole Pokemon competitive circuit. It's going to be Worlds, and it's in Yokohama, Japan this year. And uncharacteristically, Pokemon Company International has permitted people to restream the event, which has never been the case before in Pokemon, as far as I know. So I have to take the opportunity, and I'm going to be doing a restream here on this channel with some of my friends. We're going to do shoutcasting and live commentary over the whole 3 days, as far as I'm aware, for the 2 days of the groups and then the finals. So that should be fun. I'm going to be very, very tired because it will be starting at 8 p.m. EST and ending probably close to 4 in the morning each day. Yes, EVO is this weekend, Pokemon Worlds is next. So I'm looking forward to it, but I'm going to be very, very tired. But there's no two ways about it. I'm very excited to do it. And if I feel like it was a fun thing to do, barring the time difference otherwise, I'm probably going to continue to do that for regionals throughout the next season. I'd already forgotten about EVO. Tragic. But yeah, please look forward to that. That's going to be weekend starting the 9th or 10th, I think. I forget which day it is because of Japan's being a day ahead. And they'll be starting at like around 8 p.m. ET each night. We're going to do live commentary. I'm going to be trying to explain like team building concepts and like how VGC competitive Pokemon works. I'm definitely looking forward to it. The people that I've got teamed up with me tentatively are exciting to be around, so it should be a lot of fun. I'm sorry about the time slot. There's just nothing I can do about it. That's when Worlds is. That's what happens when it's in Japan. But it is what it is. So that's one thing I've got coming up next. And then I have another collab planned for next week, but I will let the host of it talk about it if and when they want to. Well, so it's just because it's in Japan. So, Gate, Worlds has been outside of Japan, hasn't been in the Asian time zone for, I think, 9 years? 10 years? Something like that? I actually can't remember when the last Worlds was hosted in the Asian region. If ever, actually. Now that I think about it, like, going back as far as, like, 2007, I don't think Worlds has ever been in Japan. So yeah, this is like... well, it's like TI coming back to Seattle, but it was if TI was never in Seattle. Like, imagine if you're the company... if Valve, who hosts Dota, and makes Dota, always decided to host TI in Japan for some reason. It's like that, where it's just, like, always on the other side of the world. So this is the first time in as long as I can remember that Worlds has been on home territory. Last year, it was in London. Then we didn't have Worlds 2021. I don't think there was a Worlds 2020. The one I remember before that was in Hawaii for Gen 7. Because of Alola and everything. Japan TI would be unthinkably hyped, this is true. But it's not going to happen. We can finally talk to Mara, the fish guy, again. But yeah, so like, I'm happy for them. I'm glad the Asian players are getting the big event in their time zone. I'm looking forward to when it's back on my time zone, though. I hope I get to work at Worlds one day. That's one of my many goals. But we'll see. Why did this style tag not work? It is a property, right? Oh, that's what it is. It's because it's not equals. It's margin. It would be like this. That's why. It's an object. It's not a string. I think this is how you do it. So now back to my browser. Refresh. What happened here? Didn't like my script. I made a typo. Oh, I made a typo. Oops. Hold on. There we go. I don't know if it did anything. No, that didn't work either. Why? How am I supposed to access a property? I thought that's how this worked, because it's like margin style dot like we've got all these properties here. Margin. Oh, it's just like margin left. Okay. Okay. Let's try that again. WebDev's going well. So Ren, you're just in time to see some cool results. Did that do anything? No. Why is this not doing anything? I'm confused. I have to look up how to use the style property. So Ren, here's the schedule that I currently have built out of HTML. It's reading out of a JSON file to populate the list here. Here's what I'm trying to emulate. And here's where I am right now. I feel like these are like extremely close to being on parity with each other. When are we going to get the CSS factory? What does that mean? I'm not sure. ISV, I feel like you're... Oh, are you telling me to just, like, build a script tag? Or I'm not sure what you're telling me. Because you definitely know more than I do about this. You're often giving me good advice. So I'm not sure if you're giving me a joke here, or... Okay. Okay. Yeah, so what I'm trying to figure out is I want to have each one of these offset by a little bit more. And so the way that you would do that is while you have access to the specific object, you can modify the style tag directly. So like what I'm trying to do is I've got this, and I just want to do... it would be like this. Margin left for EM. Something like that, right? And then the next one would be... this one. Margin left 8 EM. And so that's the most specific selector you can have in CSS is this, like the style tag, because it's referring to specifically that exact element. Not anything with the name or class, it's that one. So like that's how I would have these be cascading like this. And the next one would be 12 or whatever, and you have these in a nice little slant, and then shift everything to the, kind of just shift it to the side. But for some reason, I don't know why this isn't going. Margin left is a string, yeah, so this should be working. I don't know why it's just not going. Is child of the previous, so you get additive margins. That's actually, like, pretty clever. I would just worry about, like, weird cascading effects from that. Like, once you have things be a child of one another, your M scaling... Oh, my eyes are going crazy. Your M scaling, like, if you do stuff based on M, they're going to get fucked up, because M is a property of the parent. And so now if you're defining, like, font size in the parent... Like, hold on, maybe I can demonstrate that. Let me try something here. So what ISV is suggesting, and it's not necessarily a bad suggestion, so let's go back to default here, is if we took one of these elements, parent, and she's saying, we'll just make them all children of the next. That's going to cause a bunch of weird formatting in this specific case, but generally speaking, like if I did that, and then... So like, imagine that these aren't weird and overlapped or whatever. That's fine. But then if my parent here, say, had font size 2EM, or 1EM. Actually, I guess that doesn't fuck with it as bad as I thought it would. 0.5 EM. I guess because it's impacting everything inside of it. Don't worry about it. This is not worth pursuing. I'm going to not try and do it that way, but it is a valid way to do things, I think. Or if you had things be a parent of each other, they would inherit the offset and then have their own offset. I just don't understand why this isn't working. This should be 4EM. Can I do a different value, like 100%? Does it like that? Is it just like thinking it's invalid or something? Those hyperfix my dumb. It's not dumb, it's just different. Like, people... Okay, so it likes that. But it didn't like when I did... Huh. Interesting. Who that is? What's happening? Oh god. Bob the Dev, web game. It's not a game. I'm building a VTuber schedule. So, Bob, hello, welcome. Buongiorno, I'm Skeletom, your undead host this morning. I am trying to do this. So, I have a schedule sometimes that I put out for my streaming events. I make this in my image manipulation program, and it looks like this, and it's a pain in the ass to make by hand, because I have to, like, align text and whatever, and I'm not savvy enough with, like, a more advanced image composer, like, I don't know, Illustrator or something like that. So I'm gonna try and do it. Yeah, it's a good sub alert noise, right? I like it. Hello, welcome. So I'm trying to emulate that in HTML, which is like this. I'm almost there, kind of. I feel like you can see that we're very close to parity with each other. This one here is all CSS and HTML. This one was made by hand. Real pain in the ass. Right now I'm just trying to get my events to cascade like this. Like these, instead of all being offset by a fixed amount. And then I'll be pretty happy. And then I gotta go eat lunch, probably. I'm hungry. If I can get these to cascade, I'll be pretty pleased. Because then it will pretty much just be what I want. So why is this not cooperating? Commit reminder. You know, you're so right, actually. Hold on, I haven't had to use one of those in a long time. Let me do that right now. Alright, it's done. Thank you. If anybody's ever interested in seeing how I put this together, almost everything I work on the channel, I think anything I work on the channel is going to be open source, so you can find that on my GitHub, which is, you know, at the bottom corner of the screen here, like right over here. But if you're interested in this one specifically, it's schedule, however you want to pronounce it. So yeah, that's something fun to think about. Why is this not working? Offset is 0. We have our EM. We increment it. Did it not like that I was doing string interpolation? I'm so confused. So if I do... did it not like that I was trying to use M's? Back to my browser. Okay, so it likes that. So what was the issue? I'm confused. I'm really confused now. Maybe it was just too small? It likes %. If I do M... Oh, I bet it didn't like the semicolon. It's because I had a semicolon in there. Hold on. Let's change this to a reasonable number, like 4. There we go. That's kind of more in line with what I wanted. Let's do a bigger number, like 8. Oh, they're getting stretchy. That's weird. JavaScript has been too confusing for you. Well, if you've got any questions, I'm happy to try and address them. I do a lot of work in JavaScript, so for better or for worse. Let's pop up to the inspector again. So these guys are becoming too wide, I think. But they're driven by the length of text here. Right? No, they're not. Okay. Hold on. So what defines how wide these things are? I tell them to be width 100 of the parent, And they exceed that, which is not good. If I do with auto, that's no good either. Ronnie boy, what's up? Skeletom in the morning, is that what the WTF is for? Yeah, it's uncharacteristic for sure. Tom streams. I stream more frequently this summer than usual. But yeah. Hold on, I'm being pinged. I'll check that out later. I looked at not my work environment for a second. I got distracted. But yeah, I have at least 4 streams planned for next week, so I am trying to build a schedule here that can. Skeletom in the morning would be an incredible show to see at the TV at the gym. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. You do know I'm Italian, it's true. That's just how I am. I got the pinch emote. I can be like, how do I reach these people? Hi. I think I can do it with both hands. Pasta, you're so right. So, Bob, you're new here, so you haven't seen it, but if you check my VOD archive, I also, in addition to making shit with the computer, I also make shit in the kitchen. So I have a lot of streams where I do informational cooking on how to make pizza from scratch, among other things. So those are fun as well. I look forward to doing them again, I just frankly don't have the time. My weekends are very rarely free, and I was very blessed to be able to carve out next one to do Worlds. How do I want to format these? It's because the column... Oh, that's why. Okay, hold on. I understand why these are becoming too wide. I think. No, I don't understand. So one of these, no. One of these. There we go. That's what I wanted. So I want to do a box sizing border box, which will make the padding inside rather than outside, which gives them a little bit closer to the size that I was looking for. Yeah, so that looks correct. This won't scale properly if I start having a lot of these, though. I'm not sure what the best way to handle that is, but that might be a problem for tomorrow's Tom. Because this kind of does accomplish what I'm trying to do, where I've got my things in a row. Gotta refresh that, as always. I'm streaming in the morning. I'm trying to build my schedule. Okay, so this looks like it needs a little bit more padding, perhaps? Something like that. I'm not sure why here on OBS it's like offset so much. Wait, hold on. Yeah, how you doing, Ro? I haven't seen you in like quite a while on twitch.tv. I'm glad you're doing, or you're present at least. Nice to see you. I don't know why this is like squished in a weird way, but that's also maybe a problem for tomorrow's Tom. Yeah, so I'm trying to recreate my schedule graphic in HTML right now, and I'm like very close to being there, I think. This looks almost exactly how I'd want it. I think the items are just a little too wide, but that's very easily adjustable. So these want to be border box, and we want them to be 75%, something like that. And then, okay, that's a problem because then if the text is too long, it will overlay or overlap and wrap, which I don't really want. But I think that just means I should have my titles not be so long. This is a PNG. You're looking at a PNG I put together in the Graphics Image Manipulation Program 2.0 because I have no artistic inclination whatsoever and I don't know how to use Illustrator. If I were like a genius like you, Tahoe, I'd be having a template in some very high-end art program, and it'd be very easy to just recreate this every time I needed to and space things out. But this is just done by hand. I put these together. Live just on hiatus for a bit. I work right now, so yeah. I figured this would be a good time because I have the day off for whatever reason, and I was like, I know, people like co-working streams, right? And it seems like I was right. It seems like this was a correct gamble. So I hope this is working out. I gotta do more Pokemon playing though. I have a lot of items on my Pokemon to-do list, and I don't know when I'm gonna get to them. I might legit stream again later tonight. I'm not sure. Yay, co-working. Yeah. I wish I could do this in the morning every Friday, but I can't really. So we need to go into our CSS here. I can close these now. These don't need to be split.
Get a load of this!
Get a load of this. Your approach is the best. Yeah, I'm hoping I can just like have this be formatted, and then all I need to do is just edit the content of here with some new events, pop them in. That's just a couple lines of text, and it will just do the thing for me. Scaling is going to be a pain in the ass. I'm not really sure how I want to handle that, but these are problems maybe for the rest of the weekends, Tom. So we've got schedule, box sizing, border box with like 85%, something like that. But yeah, please anticipate upcoming streams this week. I've got, like I was saying right before you popped in, this coming weekend from like the 9th to the 13th, I'm going to be commentating Pokemon Worlds because they allow you to restream now. So I've got a motley crew of commentators of varying skill levels and walks of life with regards to Pokemon. So I'm going to be doing that starting at 8 p.m. ET. I think it's going to be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, all the way into the wee hours of the morning because it's in Japan this year. So I have to adhere to their time schedule. I've got one other collab planned for this coming Wednesday at, I think, around noon ET. So around actually this time should be when that will be. The host of that will talk about that when they're ready. So that's exciting. I'm constantly doing an ongoing project where I'm trying to capture or collect every single ribbon in all of Pokemon on a single Torkoal, which is why Torkoal is my placeholder graphic here. I did episode 1 of that last Sunday. I might be able to do episode 2 of that this coming Sunday. That would start at around 1 Eastern. So that's in like 20 minutes from now is when that would start. Yeah. I might pick that up again more today because it's fun. I'm currently at 4, as you can see on my body here. I've got 4 out of the 32 ribbons I need to collect. I'm still in the first game of Gen 6. I've got the second game of Gen 6, Gen 7, Gen 8, and Gen 9 to go through. So it's going to be a while. I want to get that done before the end of September because I'd like to be able to use this Torkoal in the current competitive format on Ranked Ladder and get the Ranked Ladder ribbon. It's a lot of ribbons. I need to get 32. If I were starting from the beginning of Gen 3, I would have to get over 90. But a lot of those ribbons coalesce into single ribbons when you transfer them up, so I was not bothering with that. Yeah, I don't know. I might do it again some other time. It's fun. I have a whole setup for my 3DS, where I'm streaming off of hardware, which is very exciting. I'm looking forward to doing more of that. So, okay, we've got these. I want to scoot this whole thing over a little bit more. I think... No, I'm doing this wrong. This is box sizing, border box. I think I'm doing this wrong. I'm not sure. That, I think, is how I want to do this. It's too much off the top. I'm not sure. Because the problem is... these don't really scale great. Oh, I also need to have this be dynamically updated. That's another thing. So let's do that, actually. That's really easy. And that's going to be This coming schedule is going to be from the 7th to the 13th. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me pop back over to VS Code. Do I have to do the Diamond Pearl Fashion Contest to get any ribbon? So funny that you'd ask. Hold on. Let me show you. Let me pop over real quick. Hello. Here's my my ribbon tracker that I spent building on a couple of the streams. So, here we have all of the ribbons that I currently need to collect. In Gen 6, most of the contest ones... Wait, hold on. Interact, that's what I wanted to do. In Gen 6, most of the contest ribbons got merged into just ones that are master rank for each of the categories, like these. So I just have to do the master rank for each of them in Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. But if I wanted to do every ribbon, hold on, I can show you what every ribbon looks like. This would be P, XY. Like that, I think. There we go. Too many ribbons. A lot of them. Quite a lot of ribbons. Fortunately, I don't have to get them all, because almost everything leading up to, like, yeah, like these, all these ones for every granular part of a contest, all get merged into a single contest memory ribbon when you transfer from Gen 3 to Gen 4. Or, Gen 3, and later up into Gen 6, they get merged into a single contest ribbon. So I'm not going to be getting those. I'm starting in Gen 6, so it's not really every ribbon. But it's a lot of them. It's all the ones that matter. Let's put that back the way it was. There we go. But yeah, this was a fun little HTML widget to build also. I built this in 2 streams and a little bit of off-stream stuff. Those are currently up on my YouTube channel right now. But yeah, you can click around and see what ribbons there are. I also uploaded this to my website. If anybody else needs to do this for some reason, I don't know why they would. Skeletom.net/pkmn. If you want to poke around with this, you can get to it here. It's now just available as a web widget for everybody. You can do filtering with it. I have to add a README for this, but you can filter with it, which is how I've got it right now. And it will remember your progress between sessions, which is very, very nice. It uses local storage, which is kind of like cookies. So if you ever are interested in doing a Ribbon Master Challenge, you can use this for sure. Back to our scheduled program for the day, though. That's not what I meant to be talking about. I wanted to get the date to auto-populate. So now I'm going to update my definition of what a schedule is here. If I were really smart, I would have the week be auto-generated based on the first and last date of the things in my events list. Also a problem for if you want to poke around with it. The fashion contests. Oh, fashion contests. There's like the cool, smart, whatever contests where it's just you have to have eaten a lot of berries of a specific type and then have moves that are executed in the right order. The fashion contests, I think, are completely eliminated in the remakes. I don't have the Gen 4 remakes because they're kind of slipshod quality. So, fortunately, there are no unique ribbons. There's, I think, one unique ribbon in those that I could potentially get later if I wanted to. Because you can transfer back and forth between Gen 8 and Gen 9. And the Gen 4 remakes are technically a Gen 8 game. So, yeah, I don't know. It's an abridged ribbon master. It's a lot of ribbons, is the point. What did I call this? Easy. So now if I go back to my browser one more time, and I refresh this, it goes from being the 6th to the 12th to the 7th to the 13th, which is exactly what it's supposed to say. Excellent, excellent. Yeah, I think this is looking pretty good. I just need to figure out how to make these, I think, squish a little bit better. Maybe they're just, like, too big overall. Because I'm going to need at least 4 of them in the upcoming week. And I don't know how to make them, like, scale in that regard. So I just keep adding more. It won't shrink them. It will make the page overflow. And I don't know how to accomplish that. I like this. I'm happy with this. What needs to be done still? Well, the problem is just that when I go to here, though, it, like, is very wide. And for some reason, the margins along the top, like, up at the top, aren't being respected. And that's no good. I'm not really sure why. So if I set this to, like... Yeah, I just don't understand. I don't understand. Because I'm loading this as a browser source in OBS, and it's just like... Oh, wait, hold on. So that's good. Where's my top? Where's my top margin at, though? Where are my top margins? Because ideally what I want to be able to do is load it up here in OBS, and then just be able to take a funny screenshot with me posing in it. Not blocking too much of the content, I hope. And then everything's good and beautiful. So can we squish this like a little bit more? I guess is the question. Column here. Can the container width be like 65%, or is that like not gonna work? When in doubt, use a flexbox. So now if I apply this to my container, and I refresh in here, not quite. Not quite. Well, I got the space over here that I wanted, so I can make a funny pose, but it's still not quite right. I think it's just too big. What if I do something insane like, like this? This is definitely not the right way to do this. I'm curious what will happen, though. Mad Scientist Hours. Interesting. 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 Very interesting. I'm just highly interested by everything going on here. Cool, cool, cool. Oops. I don't think I want to use transform. I think that's just wrong. Alright, so hold on. This is height. Like that makes sense. I don't want the height 100% actually. Get rid of the width. When in doubt, use a flex box. Maybe. I want these things to be aligned left, basically, is what I'm trying to do here. And I want to scoot them over. Which I guess is what I'm doing, currently. That's like as scooted over as they can be. That's probably fine. Maybe that's good? What did I even change here? I don't remember. I removed height 100% from column. Oh, and I gotta get rid of the scale thing. That was bad. Okay. If I go back to schedule, what does it look like now? So it's just like eating the margin, it looks like. If I tell this to just have a bigger margin, does that like magically fix it? No. I'm going to tell this to have a comically large margin. No. So it's not respecting the body margin in OBS. That's interesting. That's actually really interesting. So it seems like the problem is OBS, for whatever reason, is not respecting this property right here, the margin property of the body. I don't know why. Yeah, because like in browser, this looks fine, right? Like we've got padding around the edge, and it's fine. But then when I use the browser, it sets some default. Oh wait, you're right. You're so smart, ISV. You're saving my bacon yet again. Yep. Hold on. Get that shit out of here. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. There is a default CSS and it's overriding. I forgot about that. Cool. Okay. So this looks not bad then. I don't need the 2 EM, I just need the 1. Hey Bond, how's it going? Tuning in at the office, disgusting. Shameful. This is like exactly what I wanted. This is perfect. Because then I can be a funny little guy in the corner. And this like scales. Well, I do. Transparent is typically good. That wasn't a problem here. Transparent was very useful for like my ribbon dealie over here. To see Tom do WebDev. Yeah. Sorry, I like to keep cutting the music in and out. Actually, let me fix that. There you go. Professional step-on rakes engineer. Yeah, I feel you. So, Bon, this will be a question I'll have for you later. Is like, if I started adding more of these are going to overflow very fast. So how can I make these scale with the number of items that are in the schedule, like in the list? I don't think it's possible, right? Because you either define them as an M, or I guess they'd have to all be percentage based. No, because then you'd have like over 100% of something. You'll need JavaScript. Okay, that's a problem for tomorrow's Tom then. Overall, I'm pretty happy with this though. Just to show where we're at though, again, before I guess call it wraps or whatever, and then go get lunch. Here's where I am. Imagine me in the corner there making a funny face. And here's what I was trying to emulate. I think I did a pretty good job. Yeah, let's go get lunch. That sounds like a good time. So yeah, I'm going to call it here, I think. I might legit... Tom Morrow. Oh. So, ISV, I'm going to let you in on a little inside baseball. I was thinking about, did I name myself the right thing, or whatever, when looking at my character. Tom Morrow is really good. I was thinking of, like, Thomas B. Stone, and it'd just be Tombstone, would be my handle, which would be really cool. But, unfortunately, I am what I am, and I can't hide it. So, we don't always get to name ourselves, as it were. Tom B. Stone, yeah, exactly, right? And then just be Tombstone. Would be like my email or whatever. Which would be fun. But it's not very Italian. Thomas B. Stone sounds very British. Like British English kind of thing. So that's no good, yeah. But yeah, this is not my current schedule. Actually, let me populate this schedule so I can leave you guys with an ending graphic of what you can expect coming forward this coming week. So let me edit schedule here. They're all gonna have Torkel because it's the only image I have on hand right now. So let's see. This is gonna be Wednesday. August what? 9th? 9th. I don't need the year. That's redundant. At 12 p.m. Eastern. We've got that. And then, Thursday, August 10th. Oh, this is going to be a fun week for me. Until Sunday, August 13th at what's the snappy subtitle for this? I wonder how this is going to format with this giant block of text also. Let's shoutcast Pokemon Worlds. I wonder how that's going to look. Let's find out. Ooh, okay. Kind of long in the tooth. Loop. Oh, loop on the interred type joke? For what? For like stream titles or snappy subtitles? I appreciate that immensely. I appreciate you so much, ISV. Yeah, loop on the interred is a really good pun. all of my stream titles are always let's blank blank blank, because I don't know why. I don't know why that's the format I use. But yeah, Wednesday at noon, which is like an hour earlier than right now, I will be participating in Dolphin Summer. I wonder with whom that could be. That'll be fun. That's my next day off. And then from Thursday, the 10th, all the way until the end of the weekend, I'm going to be shoutcasting Pokemon Worlds with at least one other Pokemon professor and some other folks as well. More details on that to follow. You can catch me up on co-host, on Twitter, the platform formerly known as Twitter. You can catch me on Misskey. I'll probably make a Blue Sky account before the week is out. Golly, it's just, I'm everywhere these days. But the best way to know when I'm live next is to follow me here on twitch.tv. Hit that follow button and make sure to click the bell. I think there's a bell on this site. And you'll always get a snappy push notification whenever I go live. If you thought this shit was at all worth watching, please stick around for more because I do this all the time. I might be back after lunch and do Ribbon Master hijinks for Pokemon. There's just so many ribbons to collect, and they're not going to collect themselves. And I really want to play a video game and not work on my day off. So yeah, that's what I think we're going to do. I'm going to go get lunch with Bon, and then come back and take care of the pets. And then that'll be that. Thank you all for tuning in. I'm floored by the turnout at this hour on a work day. I really, really appreciate it. It makes me feel valued. Thank you. I will try my best to have a good lunch. And yeah, that's going to be it for me. This is all open source. You can check it out in the repo if you want to see how I did anything, or want to try and modify this for your own nefarious purposes. Yeah, that's gonna do it for me. I will send you guys on a raid, and then I will probably be back and pick you guys up from daycare in like an hour and a half. Thank you for closing the HTML tag to end the stream. You're so smart, MC. You're right. Gotta make sure we close the tag. That's a good joke! Ending the stream with a closed tag for an HTML element. That's so smart. Who am I sending you guys to? Who's even on? Is there anyone on? Do I know anyone? Do I know anyone that's up right now? I think the answer is not really. Alright. I think there might just not be a raid. Let me check the category. Is there any cool other VTubers doing software and game development? It's not important. Raids aren't a big deal. Anybody else? In English, ideally. Because I don't want to scare them. It doesn't look like it. The only other one is in Korean, but they're doing C#, which is cool. But I'm not going to send you guys to a channel that you may not be able to communicate in. Okay. That's going to be it for me then. I'll be back pretty briefly. I'm pretty sure I'm going to play Pokemon in like an hour. I'll see you guys then. Bonus era, and good afternoon. I'm such a creature. Forget it. You know what? It can't be helped. It can't be helped. Forget it. See you guys in an hour. Bye-bye.